Hi, Dr. Julia here. One of the things we've been talking a lot about this week in the clinic is the importance of the microbiome. Your internal garden can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And let me explain a little bit. So we all carry, as human beings, we are born sterile. And then what we get exposed to in those first few days and few weeks of life will play into what is our internal garden. Our microbiome is made up of a wide variety of small little microorganisms, the bacteria, the fungi, the viruses, fibers, and internally it makes an internal garden. And this garden can be healthy and rich and can be your best friend by protecting you from modern toxins and can really help you digest and absorb your food really well. And it can be your barrier of any foreign, thing that could hurt you from the outside world. It also is where your immune system resides, and it's also the majority of it, 80% of your immune system interplays with this internal garden, and it's where your neurotransmitters are made. So having an internal healthy microbiome is really, really important. And something that's two really common issues why our internal garden is not as healthy as it could be is our modern antibiotics will kind of wipe away many of the microorganisms that are in there. And then also low-calorie dieting. Anytime someone has gone on a real strict, robust, low-calorie dieting, your internal microbiome will often, if you're eating less moves out. And so you become a science experiment in there of what's fermented and bubbling up. So for long-term weight maintenance, what we really look at is the microbiome. It's one of the reasons we brought colonic hydrotherapy for the colon services back in the office. It's so important at rebalancing and making sure your internal garden is well groomed. When your internal garden has lots of diversity as far as the amount of healthy organisms that are in there, you can actually cut up to 15% of your calorie intake by feeding your garden. So when your garden is really robust and you've got lots of good microorganisms in there, then you actually functionally 15% of your calories go into feeding your garden, and that's less that goes into the rest of your body. Also, when people's microbiome is really healthy, we're not nearly as carb sensitive. People aren't as carb sensitive, and they are not as reactive to different foods that make them feel sick. So just good things. How you get your microbiome back in balance is you eat more plants. Plant-based foods are what help build diversity within the garden. Lots of water, regular exercise, just so there's movement. Colon hydrotherapy can be a big helper if there's no movement there, or if you're just needing to rebalance. The presence of water itself will kill often many disease-promoting anaerobic bacteria. The water itself will kill it immediately. So there's good things there. We will prescribe people different probiotics and prebiotics, but really from a food perspective, this is going to translate into eating more plants and eating more fermented foods. Try a new vegetable this week. It might really help you. So that is my skinny for this week on microbiome. It's really important. Let me just hit the big points. Your neurotransmitters are made in your microbiome, and your immune system, 80% of your immune system is in your microbiome. So your internal garden matters. And when there's persistent weeds in that internal garden, that can show up as cravings and reoccurring chronic health issues. So talk to us about that. We will often pull weeds out of the garden. And then to make your garden as healthy as possible, eating a lot of plants, getting current water and movement, so you can have movement there. And fibers matter. Fibers absolutely matter. They help your fat hormones get back in balance, and get just realigned and then working better for you. All right, have a great week, everyone. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.